Cats spend nearly 70% of their lives sleeping. That sounds unbelievable at first. But if a cat lives around 9 years, it may spend more than 6 of those years asleep and only about 3 years awake. Think about that for a moment. While humans rush through busy schedules, work deadlines, errands, and endless responsibilities, cats somehow manage to spend most of their lives curled up in a sunny spot, stretched across a couch, or tucked away in a quiet corner. And yet, despite how lazy that might seem, cats aren't sleeping so much because they're lazy. In fact, there's a fascinating reason behind it. Their sleeping habits are connected to millions of years of evolution, survival instincts, and even the way they bond with the people they love. And by the end of this video, you'll discover something that surprises many cat owners. One of the biggest reasons your cat loves sleeping near you has nothing to do with comfort. It has everything to do with trust. But before we get there, let's start at the beginning. If you've ever lived with a kitten, you've probably noticed a simple pattern. They wake up. They eat. They race around the house like tiny furry tornadoes. And then they suddenly collapse into another nap. At first glance, it looks funny. But there's actually a very important reason behind it. During the first months of life, a kitten's body develops incredibly fast. Their muscles grow stronger. Their bones become more developed. Their nervous system matures. Their brain processes enormous amounts of new information every single day. And much of that growth happens while they're sleeping. Scientists believe that sleep plays a critical role in development, helping young animals strengthen neural connections and recover from rapid growth. So every time your kitten falls asleep after an intense play session, their body is essentially hard at work behind the scenes. They're not wasting time. They're building themselves, even though your cat lives indoors and receives meals on a predictable schedule. Deep inside, they're still carrying the instincts of a predator. Thousands of years ago, wild cats couldn't simply walk to a food bowl whenever they felt hungry. They had to hunt. Hunting required patience, focus, speed, and explosive bursts of energy. A single chase could consume a tremendous amount of effort. Because of this, wild cats learned to conserve energy whenever possible. They rested often. They slept frequently. And they saved their strength for moments that truly mattered. Modern house cats inherited those same instincts. Their brains still operate using many of the same biological programs. That's why your cat may spend hours sleeping peacefully, only to suddenly explode into action when they see a toy moving across the floor. To us, it seems random. To your cat, they're practicing the skills their ancestors depended on for survival. Now here's the funny part. Kittens sleep because they're growing. Adult cats often sleep simply because they can. No deadlines. No meetings. No bills. No alarm clocks. No traffic jams. Imagine finding the warmest spot in your home, feeling completely safe, completely comfortable, and having absolutely nothing urgent to do. Most cats would consider that a perfect day. Researchers believe cats are exceptionally skilled at entering states of deep relaxation. In many ways, they are masters of conserving both physical and mental energy. And perhaps that's one reason people enjoy watching sleeping cats so much. There's something peaceful about them. They remind us of a skill many humans have forgotten. The ability to rest without feeling guilty. Many people assume cats spend all those hours completely unconscious. But that's not actually true. A large portion of a cat's sleep is relatively light. Their ears continue to monitor sounds. Their senses remain partially active. And they're often aware of changes happening around them. That's why something remarkable happens whenever you open a treat bag. A cat that appeared deeply asleep just moments ago suddenly materializes beside you. Almost instantly. It feels like magic. But it's really survival instinct. Wild cats couldn't afford to become completely unaware of their surroundings for long periods. Even while resting, they needed to stay prepared for opportunities and threats. Modern cats may no longer face those dangers. But the instinct remains. They're resting. But they're still paying attention. Have you ever noticed how strangely selective cats can be about sleeping locations? One day it's a cardboard box. The next day it's a pile of laundry. Then somehow they end up sleeping directly on your laptop keyboard. It might seem random. But cats usually choose sleeping locations based on two important factors: safety and familiarity. Cats naturally seek places where they feel protected. At the same time, they're strongly attracted to familiar scents. This is why many cats love sleeping on clothing that belongs to their owners. Your sweatshirt isn't necessarily the softest place available, but it smells like someone they trust. And trust matters enormously to cats, more than many people realize. Now we arrive at the part that touches many cat owners emotionally. When your cat chooses to sleep near you, they're making an important decision. Sleep is one of the most vulnerable states any animal can experience. A sleeping animal reacts more slowly. Their awareness decreases. Their ability to escape danger becomes limited. Because of this, animals are extremely selective about where they sleep, and even more selective about who they sleep near. So when your cat curls up beside your legs, settles near your pillow, naps on the couch next to you, or quietly sleeps in the same room, they're communicating something powerful. They're saying, "I feel safe here. I trust this environment. I trust you." For a species often described as independent, that level of trust is incredibly meaningful. It's one of the strongest compliments a cat can give. Not through words, not through tricks, not through dramatic displays of affection, but through the simple decision to close their eyes and relax in your presence. So the next time you look at your cat sleeping peacefully for what feels like the 10th hour of the day, remember this: you're not just looking at a lazy animal. You're looking at millions of years of evolution. You're looking at survival instincts passed down through countless generations. You're looking at a creature that has mastered the art of conserving energy. And sometimes, you're looking at a cat that feels completely secure because you're nearby. Because for cats, sleep is more than rest. It's comfort. It's security. It's trust. And when your cat chooses to spend those precious sleeping hours close to you, they may be telling you something they've been saying all along. This is where I feel safe. And perhaps, in their own quiet way, this is where I belong.